Okay, so I've kind of drawn a little bit of what we're dealing with here. Our board that we started out with was a little bit over 7/8 of an inch thick, and when we routed our bead, we went down about 1/4 of an inch. So this is basically what we've got left to do. This here is a cross section of the board. Here's your cross section of your bead. Your bead's about 1/2 inch wide. And what I want to do is I've got to fade this all the way back up to the top edge of the board, and you can see it's kind of a, I don't know, kind of a little bit of an ogie shape, a complicated turn. It's not all one sweeping turn. It kind of a, I guess a elongated S shape would be the best way to describe it, is what I'm going for. So I'm just going to come in and grind most of this out with my grinder. Of course, I want to leave a little bit there because you go too far with the grinder and there's no way to put sawdust back into wood. I'd have to fix it, but I'll go most of the way with the grinder, and then I'll clean up with the sorted hand tools after that. But this is what we're going to do. We got to remove a good portion of this stock on our apron. Okay, I'm just going to kind of show you how I orient the board to myself. I'll be standing on this side of the board when I'm doing the grinding. When I actually film the grinding, I'm hopefully be able to film it from off to the side so you can get a little perspective of what I'm doing. But I'm going to hold it like this, mostly so that I can take the grinder, and when I want to use the see if I can get a good shot here for you, kind of the front edge of the grinder. I'm just going to kind of rake it back towards me as I'm going along, and I should be able to you can actually control this grinder quite a bit once you get used to it, so I should be able to do a good portion of the work I need to do. Now you can see here, I didn't route all the way. I've only got about 5/8 of an inch on the top of this, and so I'm going to do all of that by hand, just to avoid any mistakes. So and you'll see me doing that whenever I get around to the carving section of the video. Okay, I just want to give you a general overview of kind of how I've got it set up. First of all, like I said in the previous video, I'm going to try and use a box fan to help me control my dust. Now normally I would put it over here blowing across my workpiece to clear the dust out of my way, but unfortunately that's going to be blowing the dust directly into the camera, so I don't want your view obscured by a giant cloud of dust. So I'm going to attempt putting it here in front of the workpiece. Hopefully I can exhaust the dust away from me. It'll move enough air to do that. And I've got a window behind me that I'm going to open up, and I'll turn on my shop fans to blow the air out. There's no way you can collect all this dust. All you can do is hope to manage it. And of course I will be wearing a NIOSH 95 dust mask to hopefully keep myself from sucking up a lot of this dust into my lungs. So I'll get a little bit tighter view, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Alright, here's what we have now. Hopefully we can see it. You know, it kind of did leave a little bit, definitely left a rough surface, but we have got about 95% of our shaping done. I just need to go in now and clean out these corner areas by hand. I'll clean that up by hand. Now remember, we're leaving this edge. We would want to leave this edge so that we can blend it in to a leg that it would be faded into. This bead would continue all the way up a leg. So we've got, you know, still got quite a bit of handwork to do, but you know, I just roughed this whole thing out in a few minutes with a grinder, and it would have taken me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, half a day. I don't know. Long time, too long to do it by hand, even with a large gouge. So now I can come in and clean it up, scrape it, use a scraper, use my carving gouges, sandpaper, whatever I need to do, whatever works best. I can clean it up real easy. Next up, we will be hand carving. We're going to continue this around here. We'll redraw our lines in here and carve this down, dome this out a little bit, and make it look good. We've got all these leaves to carve, lots of carving to do still, so if you're worried about doing handwork, there's plenty left. We've saved a lot of time doing it this way, but you never get away from it. If you want to make a spectacular project, a beautiful project, cannot neglect your hand skills. I've done just about as much as I can do with power tools here, and finish it out, we'll do a little bit of carving. Once again, thanks for checking out my channel, for keeping up with this project. Hopefully you're learning a lot. I appreciate the views. I appreciate any comments you have. Post up any questions you've got. I'm perfectly willing to answer them. And thanks for watching.